Greetings, greetings, beautiful being. Thank you. Thank you for being here to check out today's movement medicine morsel. Today is a gentle, soothing flow called the lymphatic flow. And this is done very, very gently. And the lymph system, of course, is a system of elimination that really boosts our immune system when it works well, because, of course, elimination is very important for waste materials. Now, most of us know that the lymphatic system doesn't pump so well on its own. It really is benefited by our movement. And also, this is a delicate flow, so it's got a sense of tuning inwards to assist, to cheer on, and to guide the lymphatic system to do what it knows how to do best. So we'll start the beginning seated, if you like. There'll be a standing portion. The whole thing can be done standing. And also, you can just close your eyes and lie down and listen and visualize and imagine the energy moving delicately in the channels described. Can't lose. Now, the touch, there's a bit of self-massage involved in this, and the touch is very, very delicate. Think of a butterfly wing. Think of stroking silky fur or hair. Think of the touch that would just give you a little bit of hair tickling and goosebumps. Just very, very delicate, delicate stroking. So I am going to stand up. It's going to be a little bit easier to see, but you can stay seated. In either case, please bring yourself to vertical alignment, meaning take a moment to bring awareness into your feet, how you connect to the ground and how the ground connects to you. And let the top of the skull and the roof of the mouth rise upwards so that we have a stretch between the sky and the earth in our own bodies. And deep, smooth abdominal breathing is also part of lymphatic balance and cleanse. So let's do a little bit of that to set the mood. Inhale deep into the belly and exhale, release. Let the belly wall move inwards. Let's do that 2 more times while maintaining our connection to earth and to the heavens. And now we begin the gentle self-massage, letting one hand come out, and we're going to use the other fingers to gently stroke up towards the shoulder and behind the collarbones. We're bringing the lymph direction back to the heart to be repumped and recirculated. So this is a delicate carrying of the lymph back home to the heart. Let's turn that palm over, and now we're going to draw that same energy up the inside, the delicate inside of the arm. So gently, so lovingly. And then we'll just lift the arm up to create some space through the armpit, because this side, chest, breast area is very full of lymph tissue. And we're going to swirl from the back of the arm through the armpit, take a little dip here, and then behind the collarbones. And let's put that arm down. Take a moment to be with yourself and feel. Notice if anything is shifting for you or feels different or not. It really doesn't matter. Just a moment to see what your experience is. And of course, we're going to do this on the other side. Now, many of the lymph nodes are very close to the surface, close to the skin. And of course, if there's poor circulation, anything that has made it to the fingers, the toes, the distal parts of the body is going to have less circulation. So that's why we're guiding all of that back home to the heart. Let's turn that hand over. And gently, lovingly, as you continue relaxed breathing. And one more time here. And now for the armpit, coming through the armpit, the side of the chest, and then swirling up. It's like you're bringing things to pour over the collarbone and behind the sternum, the breastbone to the heart. Gently relax that arm, wiggle around a little bit, feel into what's happening or what you're feeling. And now the whole breast area for men and for women, in chest area, pectoral region, is full of lymph nodes, especially through the sides, sentinel nodes and armpits. So here we're going to draw very delicate figure eights. And if you want to pulse with your legs or dance to invisible music, you can do that. Just delicately coming around, and let that come to a close as well. See how that feels. Now, fewer lymph nodes in the back, but we're also going to come up the lower back towards the rib cage, just a few gentle strokes. And then coming to the front and from the groin area, lifting up, fountaining over the chest and behind the collarbones. Of course, the groin area is very full of lymph nodes. And now we're going to carry the lymph from the toes up to the hip and come back up. So I call this the hosiery department because we're going to start. You could bend over in the chair. If you can't reach something, just visualize yourself touching it. So first we're going to come down to the invisible socklet. Just like almost like playing the harp very delicately, coming up to the sports sock, to the ankle sock, the crew sock and the knee sock. And you can alternate between the sides of the leg, the front and back, coming to the over the knee sock, the thigh high, the high stocking, and finally the half legging all the way up to the hips. And let's take one or two all the way up to spill behind the heart. Gently bending over and coming up and letting that fall into the area behind the sternum. Now just feel where you're at with this so far. Got one more leg. Notice how it feels compared to the rest of you. And let's do the final leg. So starting around the toes and the foot, coming up a little higher towards the ankle, then the ankle itself, a little bit higher each time, halfway up the calf maybe, to below the knee, just over the knee, continuing your way up the thigh, coming up the whole half legging, and then bringing all of that energy all the way up and spilling it behind the collarbones. And one more time, because that's so lovely to do that. And now we're going to play with the neck area. I'm going to come and sit so you can see it more clearly, but you might just want to continue standing. We're going to cross our hands, and we're going to gently draw from the base of the neck behind the collarbones. And repeat this lovingly. You might want to alternate which hand is on top. And now continuing with the neck, because of course we want to clear and drain any puffiness out of the face. We'll come up just behind the ear. We go up a little bit and then pour down like honey down the front of the throat. Behind the ear, just up and then down. The shape of a candy cane, up and down. And now the whole face and head, like rain, the fingers just trailing, lovingly caressing the face, the sides of the head, all coming down to pool behind the breastbone, the back of the skull and head, and a couple more passes, feeling really delicious to you. And we finish the lymphatic flow with a few rounds of an earlier one where we come from the top of the shoulders, wrapping over. So we've been Appreciating and continue to appreciate your beautiful lymphatic system that works behind the scenes so caringly, so lovingly. And let's rest our hands over our heart center, over the pump for the lymph, and take a few moments to appreciate our hearts, to smile into our hearts. Not only the center of consciousness, but also a beautiful, strong muscle that pumps from the time we're formed in the womb until our last beat. And smiling and maybe slowing down the breath, letting the breath match the mood that you're in. And feeling that connection to the earth one last time, to the sit bones in the chair if you're sitting, the roof of the mouth and the crown of the head rising. And let's slide our hands down to rest over the belly, to ground ourselves, so that we remember that we're connected to the heavens, and at the same time we have an incarnation, a life here on earth. And feel a harmonizing. What's harmonizing for you in these practices? And notice how you're feeling right now. And know that you can bring this feeling with you for the rest of your day or evening. You can recapture it by repeating this lesson or just doing what you remember, or even smiling and remembering what it felt like, what it feels like. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. Many blessings to you, and keep smiling, keep breathing, and stay connected to the sky above and the earth below. We'll see you next time on Movement Medicine Morsels.